Okay, so we're going to continue building our master program. So we'll go back to the original block we were at. And let's rename this master because this is where the program is going to be. And it's got this selector here, but that's, well, let's just get rid of that. Put the selector here. So we know so we're going to start with the selector, and we know that its defaults to 1 is the variables um, our input. You know what? We're going to have to do something else. We're going to have to also add a program variable. So we'll set program, we'll set it to 1 because it doesn't default. We'll add 0 as our input. So what this is going to do, basically, is going to display the file name on the robot when we first started the robot. Now we're going to add a loop, a nice loop. This loop will run forever until we kill it by pushing the upper left-hand button. So what are we going to do in this loop? We're going to put some conditional statements. And we're going to do like I like to do, make them compressed. Select the loop, make it a little smaller so we can see it. So we're going to use the brick buttons. So and we're going to compare brick buttons. So if the brick button is the top red button, which I'm going to the up button, I'm going to count up. Okay. And it's very important here that we select the to condition. And believe me, I tried this when I first built this program, and when I used the one condition was just pushed, the robot went through the loop so many times, so fast it detected a whole lot of my pushes, and I got a really erratic performance that would count up only once. But if we do a 2, which is a push then release, a bumped condition, then it'll only see 1. So what do we want to do when we push the up button is we want to go get the selector, and it's set right. We want to add 1. And what do we want to do if we push the down button? So let's get another. Let's just copy this switch. Copy this switch. And we want to compare brick buttons, but this time we want to use the down button, not the up button. And instead of a 1, we want a -1. So we want to count down by 1. And the selector will take care of all the rollover conditions. And now we want to do, if you want to give us, we'll put another one of these in. Another switch or case statement. But this time we're going to want a variable. Let's copy the program. And like we did inside the selector, we're going to do a control on program. We want this to be a read numeric, and make this a numeric, so that when depending what program number is selected, it'll run a different program. So for program number 1, we don't want the selector. We want to run something else. So when program number 1 is selected, we want to run program 1. When program 2 is selected, we want to run program 2. When program 3 is selected, we're going to run program 3. Program 4 is selected, We'll run program 4. And when program 5 is selected, we'll run program 5. And there's one more thing we want to do inside this loop. How did I do that? We want to increment inside the loop, right? So program 1, so I guess at the end of program 5, it's supposed to be program 5. Program 5, let me check back on program 4 then. Program 5 is program 5. Program 4 is program 4, so that's good. But and we're going to want to increment, so we're going to want a selector in here. Look what I did in my other one. I put it inside another loop. That's one way to do it. I'll do this one in line. Ah, that's why I made a mistake. Good thing I looked at that. What would have happened here if we would have done it this way? It would have run the program every time. We want to put this inside one of these blocks. Like this. So that when the center button, quick buttons, that's all right. So when the center button is selected, we run the program we want to run. So we do it this way. Let's grab this stuff. And this. Let's first get rid of that. Delete. Select this and this. Make this a little bit bigger. So that if the center button selected, we run the program that's being displayed. And at the end of that, what do we want to do? We want to increment the program so that so now that we're ready to run the program that comes next. So I want to go through the selector and add 1. So this is it. This is our program, and let's see how it runs.